This is VOA News. Reporting by remote, I'm David Byrd. Afghan government forces continued Wednesday to lose key cities, bases, arms, and equipment to the Taliban. AP correspondent Tim McGuire reports.
3 more Afghan provincial capitals have fallen, along with an Army Corps base, weapons, and equipment to the Taliban, which now controls some 2/3 of the country. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby isn't saying if the U.S. has stepped up evacuations of Afghans.
We're focused on the security situation that we face now, which, again, we've acknowledged is deteriorating. We are certainly mindful of the advances that the Taliban have made.
A U.S. defense official says the capital, Kabul, could come under pressure within 30 days. And if things don't change, the Taliban could gain full control of the country within a few months. I'm Tim McGuire.
Amnesty International says that dozens of women have described shocking sexual assaults by Ethiopian soldiers and allied forces in the country's Tigray conflict. The report says rape was intended to humiliate both the women and their Tigrayan ethnic group. Amnesty International senior crisis advisor Donatella Rovera is the author of the report.
So long as the perpetrators, the members of the armed forces, the members of the militia feel that they can gang rape women with impunity, that they can kill civilians and commit other atrocities with impunity, those atrocities will continue.
The Amnesty report calls for accountability for the sexual violence during the conflict, saying rape and sexual slavery constitute war crimes. Ethiopia's government has not responded to that report. For more on these stories and the rest of the day's news, visit our website. This is VOA News. German prosecutors say they have detained a British citizen who is accused of spying for Russia while working at the British Embassy in Berlin. AP's Zaria Shackley reports.
Federal prosecutors said in a statement that the man was detained on Tuesday based on cooperative investigations by German and British authorities. In keeping with German privacy laws, he was only identified as David S. Prosecutors said he's suspected of having spied for the Russian intelligence service, at least since November. The prosecutor's statement said before his arrest, he worked as a local hire at the British Embassy in the German capital and allegedly passed on documents he received at work to the Russians. I'm Zaria Shackley.
A Chinese court convicted Canadian businessman Michael Spavor of espionage on Wednesday and sentenced him to 11 years in prison, a sign of escalating tension between the two countries. We get more from Reuters' Flora Bradley-Watson.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau called the sentencing absolutely unacceptable and unjust, adding that the trial did not satisfy even the minimum standards required by international law. In a video addressed to diplomats and journalists in Beijing, Canada's ambassador to China, Dominic Barton, called for Spavor's immediate release.
We condemn in the strongest possible terms this decision rendered after a legal process that lacked both fairness and transparency.
The case is widely seen in Ottawa and Washington as linked to that of Huawei's chief financial officer, Meng Wanzhou. Spavor's sentencing came as lawyers in Canada representing the Chinese executive make a final push to convince a court there not to extradite her. Meng faces charges of misleading HSBC about Huawei's business dealings with Iran.
That's Reuters' Flora Bradley-Watson. In the face of increased infections with the Delta variant of the coronavirus, some state governors moved Wednesday to make sure that children in schools and the people who teach and work with them would be safe. California Governor Gavin Newsom announced that his state would require all teachers and staff to get vaccinated or undergo weekly COVID testing.
And to address the number one anxiety that parents like myself have, I have 4 young children, and that is knowing that the schools are doing everything in their power to keep our kids safe.
Oregon's Governor Kate Brown announced that beginning Friday, everyone who is 5 years old or older in her state, regardless of vaccination status, would be required to wear masks in indoor public spaces. Both states have seen a troubling surge in COVID-19 infections because of the Delta variant. It has affected children more than previous strains of the virus. Reporting by remote, I'm David Byrd, VOA News.